Alright, guys. You know who it is. It's Zay. We're here today. We got some deep thoughts to dissect. Always on our deep thoughts. And today is no exception. Not an exception at all. So I woke up today and I had really high stress levels. Like, I tend to write down how I'm feeling about my purpose in the world on a scale of 1 to 10, my motivation from 1 to 10, my purpose from 1 to 10, and my happiness from 1 to 10. Numbers were not good this morning, let's just say, in comparison to the previous week. Numbers were not good. The emotions in my body were not having it today. And it's hard to kind of look at yourself from the outside and realize that, like, because you are yourself. So you can't separate from those emotions without a lot of practice and a lot of recognition. You can tell when you're in that state. And this is really the first time that I think I was able to take a step back from how I felt and look at how I felt and try to find out why I felt that way. It wasn't easy because I still was feeling stressed as I was doing it. But after I was done with it, my stress levels went way down. I realized it all comes back to this principle that hit me a few weeks ago. And that's the principle of having a present mindset. Let me unpack what that means a little bit. I'll start off by saying how I discovered it, for myself at least. I'm sure I picked it up along the way of like reading different books and stuff, but how I discovered it in my own life. So, like 2 weeks ago, I was going for a run. I was trying to hit the 7-mile mark. At that point, I had never ran 7 miles before. My best before was like 6.2 miles. And I just woke up. I was about to go to bed one night and I was like, I'm about to go run 7 miles instead of sleep. So let's do that. I was like, all right. Actually what I did was I asked Siri, I was like, Siri, give me a number between 0 and 1, or give me a number between 1 and 2. If it's 1, I'll go for a 7-mile run. If it's 2, then I'll just go to sleep now. And of course Siri said 1. So I just went. So, I got to like mile 3. And at that point, my body is exhausted. Like, that's like what my body is good at doing. My body's good at doing 3 miles. Past that, it's a mental battle. And I'm like, man, how am I gonna make it 4 more miles? I'm not even halfway done yet, and it already sucks. I'm already feeling a lot of pain. And that's when I asked myself, I was like, okay, you wanna quit? Sure. You wanna stop running? Sure. But are you really going to be the version of yourself that stops running right now? There was 1,000 iterations of yourself that just ran all the way up to this point. That they've ran all the way 3 miles. All of them took another step. Are you about to be the version of yourself that doesn't take another step? And when I looked at it like that, I was like, hell no, I'm not about to be the version of myself that doesn't take another step. So I just kept going, right? I just took another step. Then, every time that thought came into my head of like, you should stop running. I'm really tired. You went far already. That thought that's like, you can't do 7 miles. You've never done it before. You can't do it. I was like, I'm not gonna take another step here. I'm about one more step. That's what I got, and I'm about to show you. That I keep that mindset for the next 45 minutes, and then I get that noise in my headphones that's like 7 miles completed, mile time 10 minutes 47 seconds, and I'm just like, nice. Like, I wasn't even expecting it because I was so focused in on the next step, the current moment, the current action, the world around me, the physical sensations around me, and what I was going to do about those things, that when I achieved my goal, I wasn't even thinking about the goal anymore. I was just taking another step. Today I woke up and I was feeling a lot of pressure. I have a lot of assignments coming up. I have some personal projects that I want to make some progress in, and it feels like a lot to get done in the amount of time I have to get it done. And it feels like a lot to get done in the amount of time that I want to get it done in. I wanted to know, like, why it is I'm feeling this pressure, though. Like, how do I get rid of it? Because it's so hard to focus when you're worried and you're stressed and you're thinking about the future and you're like, oh, this due date's coming up. How am I going to get this stuff done in time? And then I put myself back into the mindset that I had when I was running 7 miles. I was like, okay, you got a lot to do. Yeah, sure. But let's take a step. Let's just take one step. Forget about the other steps you have to take afterwards. Forget about the fact that you're not even halfway done. You're not even 20% done. You barely started. Let's just take this next step. And it did this thing. It was crazy. Where not only was I no longer plagued by the worry that comes with thinking about the future and thinking about the scale of what I have to do, but I actually started really enjoying the work that I was getting done. Like, passionately getting into what it is that I was learning and what it is that I was creating. And so I'm sitting there coding. I'm sitting there designing, learning about shallow neural networks and running it on random data sets. And I'm like, wow, this is actually a lot of fun. This is cool. And I understand it deeply. Like, I'm reading every word on the paper. I'm not rushing the fact. Like, I'm not trying to sprint through the assignment so I can get it done by this time. I'm just genuinely trying to understand the words that I read. And that was by far the most effective grind session that I've had in a long time. Like, not only did I learn the material, not only did I have a good time, but the amount of information that I retained in a period of time was higher than any of the days in my past few weeks. It was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, I really feel like shifting that paradigm into taking your problems, taking the challenges you face, no longer thinking of them as problems that are going to extend into the future, but saying, what is the current slice that I can do now? Forget about everything past that. Forget about disappointing other people. Forget about disappointing yourself. Forget about due dates, blah, blah, blah. How can I beat this current slice? And then beat it. Complete the task. Take the step. And at the end of it, you'll be so much further along than you ever thought you could be before. And you'll finish way quicker than you thought that you could. You know, this concept, it really does kind of extend to life in totality. Because every single day is a day that we're doing in pursuit of some goal, of some state that we want ourselves to be in. If you go in to each day and you're like, this is what I'm focused on, this box that is a day, this is all I got, let's maximize it. Let's do the things that we want to get done here, and let's focus in on those things and not worry about their position relative to the ultimate goal, but focus in on what that day is. It makes the day itself so much more enjoyable. You get so much more efficient in what you can accomplish in that day, and it just makes a richer way to exist. So yeah, guys, like, just have a present mindset. I think it's an extremely powerful tool, and I'm going to keep toying with it and practicing it to see how it can impact me. And like always, thank you guys for listening up to this point. If you're still here and you want to continue the conversation, you want to give your thoughts, share experiences maybe that you've had with the present mindset way of thinking, please share in the comments below. Also including my email and my Twitter, so contact me there. And let me know what else you want to talk about, guys. Awesome. Yeah, so thanks for watching. See you next time, and good luck.